Welcome back to Today. How good spring. Warmer weather, sunshine, beautiful flowers, stunning gardens, but the dreaded hay fever. That should not stop you from enjoying the great outdoors. So with some advice, Jimmy Turner from the Royal Botanic Gardens and Centennial Parklands in Sydney. G'day, Jimmy.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for talking to us. First thing that people seem to blame their allergies on are the flowers. Are they the culprit?
Absolutely. They are not, actually. I'm a severe allergy sufferer myself, dedicated my life to plants that are trying to kill me, I think, every spring. Actually, our biggest culprit actually is trees and grasses. Anything you see with a flower on it is actually pollinated by a bee or a butterfly or a bird. The pollen's too heavy to be windblown. It's like the Australian wattle, we blame it, but it's not the problem.
So what are the worst culprits?
Really, the worst culprits are grass, ryegrass, couch grass, all of that. It can blow for thousands of kilometers, like the wind we had last week can bring it in all the way from Melbourne and Victoria, all the way in from the center of Australia. So just because you have grass in your front yard, it may be not what's causing your sneezing. And non-flowering trees like she oaks, pine trees, oak trees, the pollen on those are really bad allergens. And I actually suffer from those myself pretty badly.
Jimmy,
but
why are you doing this job when you've got hay fever? It doesn't make sense, mate.
Doesn't make sense, but when you're in horticulture, you do it because you love it, because I absolutely have a passion for plants.
All right, what plants would you recommend? Because there are some plants that you recommend for hay fever sufferers.
Pretty much anything you see with a flower on it's safe, but some really good choices this time of year. Any orchid, this is a dendrobium orchid, one of our native ones, smells good, grows in shade or sun, easy to go. It's actually bee and bird pollinated, so not going to have any pollen causing you any issues. Another lovely native is our kangaroo paws. These are usually bird pollinated because they're in reds and oranges, which usually attract birds. Pollen, once again, too heavy, but actually a great plant for dry areas. It doesn't need much water with our current water restrictions. And probably one of the most common plants you see around Sydney is the dragonwing begonia. Any begonia, the red flowers in this one are absolutely gorgeous, and they're also quite edible. You can pull them off like this, pop them in, and they taste like lemonade.
Okay, good tips. Now listen, Asthma Australia has given some advice for those who want to garden during this period who suffer from hay fever. What's that advice?
The best advice is actually to garden early in the morning, because actually at that time of day the pollen levels are lower. Mow your yard regularly, because you're actually keeping the grass pollen down. Keep the weeds out of your yard, because surprisingly enough, the weeds are the ones that actually cause most of your pollen issues. Choose the right plants in your own landscape. And my number one thing for me is actually go buy yourself an air purifier for the house. It will do wonders for you for sleeping at night.
Okay, you've got the best job in the world, mate, despite being a hay fever sufferer. Thank you so much for joining us.